All right, welcome back, mi gente, to another Teal Grid podcast. This time I got my boy DJ Speedy from the Paletero Mix and Ritmo Unido. Let's get started. What's up, my guy?
What up? What up? What's going on, man?
¿Cómo andas?
Right here chilling.
Chilling like a villain?
Yeah, pretty much enjoying this quarantine and family time.
Yeah. So I think we were talking earlier that things have changed, obviously, in the household, and now the norm is to put your kids on the computer for their classes, huh?
Yeah, man. That's pretty much the new normal nowadays.
Yeah.
You wake up, feed them breakfast, and instead of taking them to school, now you have to make sure that their laptops or iPads have been fully charged because they're going to be powered on and log into Zoom meetings. A lot of Google Docs, all this Google thing, man, it's taken over.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's got to be a challenge too, just to have your kids all day at home and not used to that, I mean.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely, man. It's a complete 360, man. Because now, I'm self-employed, and my schedule, my routine, my daily routine would be, get them ready in the morning, drop them off at school. I would come back. I would work on it. If I had an event coming up, I would pre-plan. Or if I had to send some contract invoices out, I would do that.
Uh-huh.
I would watch some TV, and this would be just me at the house. Now there's 5 of us in a 2-bedroom apartment. You can just imagine how that goes. Being there 24 hours a day together. And our only break, I guess you could call it a break. Me and my wife was just like, oh, we need some milk. I'm like, oh, I'll go get it. Just to get a little breather out there.
Yeah.
But, it's becoming kind of normal now.
Yeah.
We're adapting to the new daily routine and new schedule that we have to put in place for the kids because there's not many they'll go crazy, they'll go nuts. And
that's
the
crazy.
way that we have to adapt. Man. Thank you, coronavirus, COVID-19.
Yeah, man.
But at the same time, I mean, I still feel that there's a lot of just positive things that are coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I guess I'm building up my relationship with my 14-year-old kid, and now we kind of joke around more, and we have time to play video games now together. Something that before it was not really going on.
Yeah.
And and on my end, I'm reading a lot more. I'm watching a lot more educational tutorials. So I'm expanding my knowledge on things that before, when I didn't have all this time. Well, I mean, I did have all this time, but I would just push it to like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Like, oh, it's not that important. But now it's like, well, I can't really push it away because I'll get bored if I'm not doing anything at the house. So
Yeah.
like, all right, let's download some books and read them or watch them, YouTube tutorials, man. Who hasn't done that?
Yeah, so that's what I'm talking
That's,
about.
that's how a lot of people learn their first, whatever they want to get into. First thing you do is like either Google it or, hop on YouTube and be like, oh, how do I do this? How do I do that?
Yeah.
So there's definitely good positives coming out of their isolation and, self-distancing and quarantine at home.
Yeah. That's good. That's good to hear that you're expanding your knowledge, on various topics, I'm sure. So
Yeah.
I also want to bring you back as far as how we met and how we know each other and all that. Yeah.
That's the fun one.
We have to take it to the beginning, man. It's just so people have some context of how do we even know each other.
Yeah.
So how did this happen?
You want to start?
I mean, I'll tell you what I remember is that I believe either one of you contact me to DJ at 840 or the owner did. I can't remember. Who was it? Or maybe I was covering for somebody.
The way that it went down is I do the bookings for DJs and entertainment at that bar at A40 Wine Bar. And I was supposed to have someone, a DJ already put on that Saturday because I had a private event,
Mm-hmm.
and that DJ canceled on me like last minute. And I believe it was, I think it was Aussie. I hit up Aussie and like, hey, I need a DJ like quick. And he's like, well, I'm booked, but I have this guy. He goes by the name of DJ Live. I'll hit him up or I'll send you his contact. And then that's when I send you a text and you're like, yeah, man, I'm free. I got you. And you went to A40 after I was done with my gig. I went to A40 and then I walked in and that was how we met that night.
Yeah, that's right.
And story's still been written.
Yep, that's where it started. And big shout out to that DJ that didn't go, because if not, who knows if we would have crossed paths, right?
Yeah. I think the DJ that didn't go was either Jeff, and then I had to mistake him.
Oh my god! Wow. So there you go, guys. When one door closes, another one opens. So also before all this, I want to know a little bit more about your story and how you even got into music. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I'm from San Jose, California. I've always been into music. I think my dad was back in Mexico. He was part of this group. Some kind of like Spanish R&B, kind of like 60s, 70s hippie style group, and I think the music has been in the family for generations.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was in my DNA. And I had an older brother. When I was growing up, he used to hang out. We're from Yucatan, our family's from Yucatan. But he would hang out. He would hang out with a lot of Chilangos, a lot of Sonidero.
Yeah.
And he was in the car scene. You know, he would fix up trucks and cars, and they would always have loud sound systems and shit.
Uh-huh.
And cumbia was always playing on those cars, man. It was always it, and the deep bass on it, and then I just fell in love with it.
Mm-hmm.
And they would always throw this yearly Halloween party at my mom's house in the backyard. And, you know, I'm talking about 92 to 94, well, in between those years, when I was already into it.
Mm-hmm.
And at this party, one of the DJ or the sonidero, he had two techniques and a cassette player, and he would just switch the records. You know, I mean, the guy wasn't even mixing, because you know the sonidero style, you don't mix.
Yeah.
You just throw the song on, and you just talk over the song. And I mean, I wasn't even allowed to be in the party, but I would just be behind, like right next to the DJ, to the sonidero guy, just the way that he was. You know, he already knew what record was going to come up next.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, I mean, I'm saying lucky for me, but, you know, not too lucky for the guy. He got faded, man. He got shit faced. And my brother was like, hey, you know how to work that shit? And I'm like, no, but I mean, I think I can do it. And that was my first time that I ever touched a vinyl. And then I just dropped the needle into the gears of that vinyl, and it was like love at first sight.
Yeah, I was about to say
after that. I was after that, I just kept begging my brother, like, oh, take me here, take me there. Like, if I knew that that's when the other guy was going to be there, I would beg my brother. And he, you know, sometimes he would take me, sometimes he'd be like, nah, there's going to be some shady shit going on that I don't want you to see.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, well, I mean, at that time, I didn't know what it was, but it was probably, you know,
the business.
sex, drugs, and rock and roll, you know.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I was like, whatever. And then a couple of years later, man, I think I got myself a job at the flea market.
Mm-hmm.
And I pretty much saved up my own money, and then I bought this DJ to go box. I believe it was from Funkmaster Flex. They had 2 turntables and a mixer. I think they were like the other night.
Were those direct drive?
Kind of mixers. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Piece of shit turntable,
Of
plastic
course.
going around,
I bet.
you know,
Weak ass torn
and
arms.
yeah, yeah. And then after that, you know that store in San Jose Timeless, they
Yeah.
used to have one on Santa Clara and 24, and they still have one at the flea market.
Yeah.
Well, I used to every time when I was going to San Jose High School, I would after school I would tell my mom that I was doing after school programming, but I was really not. And my after school program was going to that store, and I would help out the guy to sort records out and all the promo records as it would drop in. I would kind of put them in alphabet order, and
Mm.
he would pay me with records. He would be like, "Oh, just grab what you want,"
Oh, that's
and I
dope.
would just take records, yeah.
Yeah.
And with that, I started doing my little house parties and doing parties for family, doing this and that, and that's how I started.
Damn, so you started the legit way with
Yeah,
records. That's good.
yeah. There was no scratch lives. No, I think they had some other things going on, but because my brother, that same guy
Mhm.
that I learned, well, not learned, but the first time that I saw it, that Paletero guy,
Yeah.
he came to the house once and he saw that I had the setup, and he was like, "Oh man, you're doing it the old school way. There's this new program called um Active DJ or somewhat. It was before Virtual DJ or Serato."
Hmm.
And he showed me, and he brought out his laptop, his break Windows laptops in back in the days, in like '99.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, this is the new way to do it. Like, you don't have to carry all those records." And I'm like, and it kind of pulled me in, but then I wasn't having that same feeling, licking your fingers and touching that vinyl and finding the groove and
Yeah.
finding the cue. It was just not. It was not the same. It wasn't the same.
And also a
And
lot.
sound,
Oh yeah. Good. So
yeah.
sorry. Go on.
And I think that at that time the sound quality, it wasn't the same as you put that you drop that needle into that groove and then you just feel that crackling. It's a different feeling. You know.
Yeah, I think it's the same for photographers when they use digital versus analog, and
Yeah.
even something that comes up from using turntables is obviously you need to learn how to beat match with the ears, which is something
Yeah.
that should be like the number one thing you should kind of start doing. If you're DJing, like you can't. I feel like it's gonna be harder nowadays for. I mean, I'm sure it is already with new coming DJs that probably learn differently. Like they'll look at a
Yeah.
screen and so they'll try to beat match. But yeah, I mean, I think it was dope
Yeah.
that you were able to start with the turntables, and I think I did too with the battle pack, a Newmark battle pack. I started with
Yeah.
that, but no, that's dope. And so you did a lot of parties and a lot of house parties, family events, and then
Yeah.
where did you say I need to take this serious or I see something in here? Like when did that happen?
Well, I mean, DJ was always more. I never thought I would have it as a full time job.
Uh huh.
You know. And I guess also like my parents would be like, like, "Oh, they had a jugar con esa chingadera, so like, that's not going to take you anywhere."
Yeah.
So then it was either you stay in school or come work with us. And to me, it was, I mean, I first generation here in the U.S., and
Hmm.
I was like, "No, man, that's not the way to do it." Like, you guys, your mentality is to work, 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 and you guys, all you guys want to do is work. And I had a different view of life, I guess you can say that.
Hmm.
And I never did it to make money out of it. I just did it because at the time I didn't need money. I had my parents, but
Yeah.
it was just more like a hobby. And like, oh, I'll do this, do that. And then I had, a couple parties here and there from on high school. And
Yeah.
then I never really saw it as a career. And then I think I stopped for a little bit. And my parents thought that it was best for them to send me to Mexico to live with my brother.
Mm-hmm.
My brother had moved back to Mexico. So my mom and my dad were like, you know what, you need to beg from the U.S. You're sending your ass to Michoacan for the summer. And I think I landed over there, and the condition that I told them that I would go is they shipped my turntable. At this time, I already had techniques and a Vestax 4-channel mixer, and I told them, you know what, ship that over there, and I'll gladly leave. You know, all I'm going to be doing, like, I don't know anyone over there. All I'm going to do is just DJ in my brother's house. And yeah, they sent it over there, but the world, destiny had other plans, and I just, I started building race cars with some of my cousins over there, and then I met my wife at the time. You know, we were dating over there. She was from San Bernardino. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm only here to have my quinceañera, and I was like, and that's how we started dating.
Mm-hmm.
And then she came back, and I told my mom, like, you know what, I'm ready to go back. So she didn't. She was like, no, you're still gonna leave. You can stay over there. And I was like, no, like, I'm trying to go back. And long story short, I just booked myself a flight to San Diego.
Yeah.
I went to San Diego, and then I got my ass home here. And I knocked on my parents' door. I'm like, oh, I'm home. And they're like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Damn.
And then I just started dating her, and then I think my DJing stopped for like a good 4 or 5 years. Well, like a good 3 years, I just stopped DJing, and then I was just more focused into dating. And then I had my regular job, and once my regular job laid me off, I was part of the union. And then when I got laid off, I cashed out my union benefits, and then I'm like, all right, well, I think it's just time to start my full-time DJing career. And then that's when I started doing weddings and all that stuff.
Damn. Yeah, that was.
And I've been doing that for 9 years now.
Yeah.
Not working for any company. It's just been on my own.
Doing your thing.
Doing my thing, setting my own hours, and it's been fun.
It's a fun journey, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, hearing from the side of a DJ, right? I mean, I'm sure people are wondering, like, what is their life like? I mean, are they always partying? Are they always, not doing anything, just but playing music? Like, it's a big commitment and a big risk, right? Because no one knows. I mean, how far you could take this, or even if you could sustain yourself, and even more that we live in Cali, where rent is not that cheap. It's a challenge,
Yeah. I mean, definitely. I mean, I guess a lot of. I know that a lot of. I know this for a fact. A lot of my wife's family, like her side,
mm-hmm.
in the beginning they would be like, "Oh, he's always out clubbing. He's always out partying." But I'm like, no, I'm not going to the club to party. I'm going there to work.
Yeah.
That's how I make my living.
Yeah.
I guess the way that I see it is that DJs they're low key, like little nerds or geeks, because when we're at home, we're on a computer, we're on the internet, we're searching for the next hottest song, we're updating our libraries, we're downloading the newest songs. We're not. Well, I mean that's the way that I am. I'm not there thinking like, oh, I can't wait for the Saturday because I'm gonna get shit faced. I'm gonna party my ass off.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait for the event to happen because I want to try this new technique or the new song, and I'm going to see if it's gonna go with the same way that I had it planned out in my head. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the times it doesn't go, and you're like, all right, well, that's not going to work. I'm not going to do it again.
Yeah.
So we're not always out there partying. I mean, it's part of it, but it's not 100% why you go out there and do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think like you said, everybody has their own way of working, but I mean, I feel like the stereotype too for DJs is that all they do is party and play music and get drunk and whatever. But I mean, like I've been
the drunk DJ. I've been the DJ that goes and gets shit faced.
Mm-hmm.
And for the past year, I've been the DJ that's been sober. I've been the DJ that doesn't drink. And man, there is a big difference. You get to see more your work more. You know, like I guess I value myself more now that I can clearly see everything that I do, and it helps me out because now I can clearly see the mistakes that I'm doing when I'm DJing. Like, oh, like like I was saying before.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying different techniques. Now I'm trying different transmissions, and when you're drunk, shit, everything sounds good to you.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit.
I was just about to say
And
that.
then, yeah.
I was gonna
But I mean,
say
everybody does it too.
yeah.
There's enough space for everyone to to be a drunk DJ, and a lot of the venues like the drunk DJs. Now that I've not been drinking,
Mm-hmm.
one of the venues that I go, they knew that as soon as I walked in, they already had my favorite beer on deck. I kept rejecting them, like, no man, I'm not drinking. And like, well, what? You're not gonna sound as good. You're not going to be that fun DJ, and I'm like, no, that's not the way it works.
Yeah,
and
it's interesting.
It took them a couple of weeks, and it's like, oh shit, yeah, no, you're good. Keep it up, keep it up.
They're actually surprised.
Yeah.
Wow, but it's also like one of those things that I don't see a big negative as far as DJs having some good times, like drinking, but I do understand now in all the years that I've DJed is that there's a limit to that, right? Like, yeah, it's fine to take a few drinks, but you should know when to kind of stop because at the end of the day, you got to perform a really good, music for your clients, and at the end of the day, they want to see you safely get home. I mean, who wants to hear their DJ get in an accident after like doing your wedding or something? That would be crazy,
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you're getting paid to provide a service, which is DJing, especially at private events. I had one rule, like on my private event, especially if it's wedding. I would go in there, and if it's a new client, even if they offer me anything, I would not take. I would not drink.
Mm-hmm.
There was a few times that I know the people, I know the bride, or I know the groom, and we'll take a couple shots or whatever. But there's, like you said, you always have to know like your limits of when to stop.
Mm-hmm.
And there's obviously, it's not always going to happen every time.
Yeah.
But now that I see it, a lot of the DJs that I kind of got into scene with, like 9 years later, we're all sober. Like we all go there, we don't drink, and it's just like we go there, we do our jobs, and we go home.
Yeah. Well,
I guess it's also when you're in the beginning, you're like you wanna sit in, or you wanna be like, oh shit, I'm partying.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna drink, and I'm gonna get shit faced.
Yeah.
But I guess you can say it is a career. As your DJ career goes, you kind of take a step back and be like, oh shit.
But I feel like
not working out. I got it.
And I feel like everybody is gonna go through that, right? That phase of man, I'm the life of the party, and I'm supposed to be drinking with these guys, and I understand that. It's just it's difficult because it could get overhand real quick, and if you don't know how to stop it, you're putting your life at risk or others at risk, and it's one of those things that you hope that never happens because something bad could happen, and who knows where your life could be at. But luckily for us, that we've gone through a lot of those events and we've learned what not to do. It's like we did all that and it was fun, but if we want to live off of this, we definitely need to be really professional and just just know your stuff. It's like
oh yeah, man, you definitely you live and you learn, and then hopefully you learn quick, and because you're not, a lot of shit can go wrong.
Yeah, I mean even
especially if you want to make things sometimes good, you have to be really careful of the way how you treat your work.
Yeah,
you don't want to be put out there as a drunk DJ And he's like, "No, man, I don't want to book that guy. That guy got more shit than my guest at the party. You don't want to be at DJ."
Yeah. There's actually a story I want to tell about that. Is that one time I got hired to to DJ at a party. Shout out to Leo. It was for Leo's birthday party, I believe. I think so, yeah. And so I'm set up. Everything's ready to go. And of course,
Yeah.
they know that I like to have a few drinks there here and there. So sure enough, they're giving me like my own cooler with my own drinks and alcohol,
Oh,
beer,
damn.
everything, right? And next thing you
Yeah.
know, bro, I am shit faced. I'm gone. I'm already in the bathroom. The party had the birthday boy hasn't even got there yet.
Oh, shit.
I'm already gone. Luckily, they knew somebody from the family that had, I think it was DJing or had DJ'd before, so he kind of got on and
Yeah.
took over. But that was one of the most embarrassing. Luckily, I know them and they're like family, so it wasn't too
Yeah.
bad of of a hit. But still, it is embarrassing that happened.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's so
Oh,
funny.
yeah, man. That's happened a couple times, man.
And
But like
even
I said, I do those with you wouldn't have done that with a new client. You
oh
do those
hell
kind of
no,
things with people that you do that with clients or people that you can kind of say on in their family. They know the way that I am, and they're not going to trip. They're not going to go and Yelp and give you a bad review.
yeah,
So their family, you do those kind of things, or you take those chances with those kind of people because you know that they're family.
yeah, wow.
Mm.
All right, just
But luckily, man, I've seen a big change in you and me
yeah, I know.
from the way that when we first met.
Yeah,
It's definitely it's been a change for the good.
yeah. I mean, we only get better, right? There's only
Yeah,
one way up. As long as we have
yeah,
that mentality and we have good people around us that push us to be better, that's really all you
yeah,
need, right? And also,
yeah. And then I mean, it's always you always have to have something that's keeping you busy, man. Because I've seen, well, especially me.
mhm,
If I'm not doing anything and if I'm bored, I start thinking of stupid ideas.
yeah,
You know, that's
yeah,
why I started a podcast and I started with Remonido, and it's like the more projects that I can have my hands on, the more that I can be beneficial or active and
yeah,
productive.
yeah.
Because if I'm just bored, man, that's when oh shit's gonna hit the fan.
Yeah, that's really true because when
Yeah,
when there's not much going on, you're just like, let me do something else.
yeah, man.
Let me grab a drink. So to go back a bit, let's talk about Ritmo Unido and Paletero mix. Which one do you want to start with?
Let's go. Well, Primo Unidos is that's the one that came first
Yeah. So how
because
did
I think that Paletero mix is a branch out of Primo Unidos.
yeah sub brand?
Yeah.
So tell us how the Ritmo Unido start because I'm pretty sure a lot of people have heard that name or seen that logo at least.
Yeah. The
What
logo
is Ritmo Unido?
brought to you by yours truly right there.
Yeah. Shout out Ozzy.
Well,
Yeah.
that's Primo Unidos is it's a collective, a DJ collective. Um, focus I think on the community, on the Latino community, the Latino DJs.
Mhm.
Um, it all started. I met Aussie through another guy named Eric, DJ Iranza.
Mhm.
He works at the World of Stereo in San Jose on Santa Clara on San Carlos.
Mhm.
Well, I've known Eric since middle school. His dad, his dad is a big sonidero, and when I moved into Campbell,
Mhm.
I was already DJing, and I would always hear this music coming out of the apartment across the hall from me, and Eric is like 2 years younger than me. So when I was in middle school, he was still kind of in elementary, and then it was kind of like, oh shit, you're into the same thing I'm into.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna fast forward, and that's how I met Austin. I met him through him. Because again, I needed a DJ. I'm always looking for DJs to help out and to help me cover an event here and there. So
Yeah.
I hit him up, and I'm like, hey, you know what? I need a DJ. He goes, hey man. I told him, but I need a DJ that can get down on India and some live stuff. It's a land party.
Yeah.
He goes, man, I got the perfect guy for you. His name's Austin, man. He's a big time cumbia head, man. If you need a cumbia DJ, he's the guy to go. I was like, well, let me up. Let me get his info, and then that's how I met him.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he couldn't do the party, so I ended up taking somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
But the connection, the relationship stayed there, and we just kept. Before we even met, we just kept texting each other,
Mm-hmm.
and he likes to edit music and do remixes, and I would be like, hey, bro, I just had this idea, man, like this song would go good with this song, and I would have the idea, and he would bring that idea to life. Because at the time, I wasn't good at Ableton or doing all the software programs.
Yeah.
I was just, I'm just a DJ. Like, I just go and download music. But Aussie was different. He was like, I just don't want to play the same random shit that everybody's playing. I'm going to come up with my own edits to do them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it all started. That's how our relationship started. And then one day he's like, hey, man, I'm working to have this, I'm part of this community service, community center here in San Jose on Mayfair.
Mm-hmm.
We need some help with some volunteers. Are you down to help out? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, for sure, man, I'm down. And with the community, he brought up the idea of like, what we should. He told me I have this idea in my head that I want to, have DJs kind of get united and help each other out, because he's like, all I see is your hate. Obviously, you just hate on each other. He goes, but I'm not about hating. Like, I'm about helping. Like,
Yeah.
Aussie, man. Aussie is, if he's eating and it's probably a weird perspective to put it, but if there's one tortilla left on the table and there's both of us eating, so be like, you know what, take the tortilla. You can have it.
Yeah.
Like, he'll, even though if it's his last that he has, he won't trip. He'll give it out to you. He'll be like, here. You need it more than I need it. Take it. And that's the way that he is. And he's very connected with all the Paleteros and all the DJs in San Jose. And he's always helping out.
Mm-hmm.
But the same people that he's helping out, they're hating on each other. And he just wanted to be like, no, that's not the way that I see things. So he told me, like, hey, man, I have this idea about having like this DJ collective called Ritmo Amigo. We'll help each other out. We can all bring different ideas, and that's pretty much how it started. And then I think Choco got in the mix, and then you came in also because you were the mastermind behind all the branding and all the logos and all the social media.
Yeah.
You're the one that started the Instagram page, the Facebook page. Because I think in the beginning there was like 4 or 5 different Ritmo pages, and we were like, hey, no, we got to delete all of those and then just stick to one. But somehow different ones kept popping out, and I don't know if that happened. Well, how does that happen? But we figured it out, and Aussie just started the idea, brought it on to me, and then we came in with all the vision, with all the visuals, all the logos and all that stuff. And I'm gonna say, well, like, we're 4 years already, and we're throwing different events. We're helping other, like, Sonido Clash, like we're kind of their audio guys for them.
Mm-hmm.
All the festivals that they do, like our brand Redwood City is the one who takes care of all the sound with all the connections that Aussie has.
Yeah.
We all put in our work together, and we went there. And it's growing, man. It's building. We're building it. There's a lot of things coming that we've been working on, brainstorming, planning,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to get even better than what it already is.
Yeah, it just keeps getting better. And so I think that's where the other brand came in, right? Paletero.
Yeah.
How
Yeah,
did?
the Paletero mix came out. I brought it in, and then I had this idea. I was I was going to LA, and I was driving, and it was a rental, and there was no music playing. I'm like, when you're out of town, you don't know the stations. You just like searching for a good station.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go to LA, there's this big, there's this. Once you hit the mountains, there's no radio. All you get is some like 3 or 4 AM stations that is just about politics and news.
Mm-hmm.
And that car didn't have extra radio, so I was like, oh, shit. I was stuck with like 2 hours of listening to nothing.
You're saying
And being a music guy, being a DJ, man, you have to have music.
yeah.
So that whole trip, we were going to Disneyland and Universal Studios one time. That whole trip, I had that idea in my head. Like we have to start like a Remonigo radio or like something that we can all bring mixers and put it together.
Mm-hmm.
And I got back home after that trip, and I was just thinking, and that idea would not go away. And I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna call Aussie. We met, we had at his house, and I told him, you know what, I have this idea. And he goes, you know what, it's a good idea. Let's put it out there and let's try it out and see how it goes. And I just started the podcast, and I'm like, and he was like, we can't just name it like the radio, and let's come up with another concept, and that way it can be a branch out of his ego. But we wanted to keep it, we wanted to keep the culture alive, la cultura, I guess I could say Rimonido is from the east side of San Jose. That's where we were born, because that's where we should say the headquarters are in east side San Jose.
Yeah.
A lot of our events and everything is in east side San Jose or within San Jose.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we were just talking, and we heard the Paletero guy with his little bells, and I'm like, shit, those guys are all over the place. They're always hustling. They're always, either rain or shine. They're always out there. You can always find a Paletero guy on the east side of San Jose.
Yeah.
So I told him, you know what, that's a good concept, because you can always find the Paletero mix. At that time, we were going to put it on SoundCloud.
Mm-hmm.
You can just go on SoundCloud, and we'll have mixes for you to listen. Like, if you're having a party and you don't have a DJ, just play the mixes, and it's going to be, fire after fire after fire. So it's going to be a good party.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it was born. But we were going to put it on SoundCloud, but at that time, I think that's when SoundCloud just went out there and they wiped out all the DJ mixes out of their website. Like everybody lost all their mixes and all that stuff. So I'm like, okay, well, that's not going to work out. So that's when I put it into Mixcloud.
Which is specifically for DJing, right? DJ mixes.
Which is specifically for DJ mixes.
Yeah.
They do have their little certain things. Like, I didn't know until one of my mixes got taken down. Like, it didn't get taken down. It got blocked in Canada and in Indonesia. For some reason, some weird countries, Canada and Indonesia, it got blocked. It got muted.
Mm-hmm.
So I emailed them. I'm like, what's going on? It goes, oh, well, they said that in one mix, you can't have more than 3 songs of the same artist. So you can't have 3 Tupac songs. So you can have 3 Biggie Small songs.
What?
But once you do that, you're already breaking their licensing that they have.
Oh.
And he said, and on the email, it said that you can't have more than 3 songs of the same artist within one mix, and you can have 2 songs of the same artist played back to back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't go from Tupac to Tupac. You have to go Tupac, Biggie, and then Tupac again. But then you only have one more to play of Tupac, because if you play more than 3, then it's going to get blocked out.
Damn.
So that's another thing. I had to do research. I had to do, okay, well, what can I play? What can I not play?
Yeah.
And then we got moved into Spotify. I didn't know how to put music into Spotify. I took another, I had to go another get some tutorials, figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
So and then we put it into Spotify. And now you can also find it on Apple Podcasts, and that was a different process that I had to go through. And I had to do another tutorial on how to do that.
Damn.
And then that's pretty much how it is. And that's how it started. But
That's dope.
Trayvon Paletero mix, and we had some plans of we were going to start our own Paletero parties going out. But now, we got everything that stopped because of the virus that's going on. But yeah, just time being at home, we're brainstorming a lot of great ideas that we have.
Yeah. That's dope,
Like
man.
this year, we're going to start our first annual. We're gonna we're gonna help the homeless community. We're gonna start taking donations and going out there and maybe possibly throw a party to get funds to be able to go out during Christmas or the cold season, winter to get back some clothes and blankets, all this and that. Because again, the main fundamental or the base of the money was to help the community.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're doing right now. Another thing that I have in mind right now with the Paletero mix is all the DJs are going on Instagram, on Facebook, Twitch, and now Mixcloud is released the platform to go live on Mixcloud for DJs because everybody was like Facebook was blocking them, IG was blocking all the DJs. Twitch just started to block out all the DJs because Twitch is a gaming community, but they didn't have the rights for songs.
Mm-hmm.
But now the DJs were using that same platform to do live streams, and I guess Twitch got hit up with a lawsuit from Universal, and that's when Mixcloud that we have the licensing for songs, so we just have to come up with somebody who creates all the coding or whatever they have to do. So they have the beta going on right now.
Oh, that's dope.
So, the idea that I have in mind right now is the Paletero mix on Mixcloud. We reach every week per episode. We reach about 3,000 people. We get about 3,000 plays per week. So I had an idea of talking with Austin about going live and taking like a lot of these DJs are putting their Venmo or their PayPal thing like, send donations, send this and that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do the same thing, but the donations that we take, they're not going to be going into my pocket. We're going to go ahead and donate into Paletero guys on the streets that, they can't go out there work as they used to now.
Oh, that's a good concept.
With all this quarantine and all that stuff. So that's an income that they're losing, they have for their families. And as you know, a lot of the street vendors are undocumented people, so they can't get that stimulus check. They can't get the benefits of unemployment.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an idea that we have where we're trying to work it out and see how we can get the money, but how we can distribute it to the guys out there. So we have to find. I'm talking to this other company and another charity that I would be donating the money to them, and they already have the platform or the structure of how to share the money, the donations that people give them.
Oh, that's good. Basically, kind of going back to your roots in a way of the Paletero, how it came to be.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, because we reach out to we reach out to close to 3,000 plays per week. So that's if we can get at least $1 for if we can get at least 500, that's 500 that we're able to donate. That's something already going on because everybody right now is hurting. A lot of people are being laid off. This is some rough times right now for a lot of people.
Yeah, which actually brings me to another topic that I wanted to talk about is what do you think about that $2 trillion stimulus bill for contractors?
I think it's a great idea, and I'm saying it's an idea because it's still really tough.
Yeah.
everybody that I know that has applied for unemployment, they have been getting denied because the California, the EDD, they're built to deny you because you don't have a W-2 because you don't have taxes that have been, because as self-employed, you pay your taxes at the end of the year. You don't get money taken out every 2 weeks or every week as a normal regular employee does.
Yeah.
So even though that bill was passed in March, we're close to hitting May, and still nobody has been able to get those benefits.
Yeah.
That's $600 a week extra that you can get that people are not getting.
Mm-hmm.
So from what I'm helping out a lot of DJs to be able to file their unemployment.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's been getting denied. I've been following the process the steps that they're giving out, but they're still getting denied at the end of when they get their application. They said, "Oh, you have your benefits in your account," so they're getting denied.
Wow.
But that's not how it works. That's according to the bill that that it was passed. Everybody should be eligible for $600 a week, and if you're self-employed, you're still eligible for those $600, regardless of if you're self-employed, if you're getting paid on 1099s, W-2s.
Yeah.
So now what the government did here in California, as of on April 28th, they're going to kick off their separate websites for self-employees to apply for unemployment. So that's going to be a lot easier because now you don't have to go through the same process as a regular, employee that got laid off has to go through. Now you have to go through your self-employee process of applying for unemployment, which is going to be a lot easier.
Wow.
So that's why I said it's a great idea, but it was just an idea because it hasn't really benefit anyone yet.
Yeah.
I applied for the SBA $10,000 grant.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to get those $10,000 within 3 days of you applying for all their small businesses. It hasn't happened. They're suing right now. I think the senators are suing the SBA because they haven't helped the small businesses. They have trillions of dollars to give out to all these small businesses, and which, if you have a business license, if you're a DJ, you're considered a small business.
Yeah.
A self-employed. Yeah, as long as you have that business license, you're a small business. So you're eligible for that $10,000 grant that they're giving out. You're eligible for that $600 a week from unemployment.
Yeah.
So the help is there, but they're just not helping. They're making it hard for all these small businesses to get their money, to get their help.
Yeah.
And if it's hard for people that are eligible for it, imagine for the people who are not. Imagine for the undocumented people that are out there making the bed day by day.
Yeah, definitely. That's a tough position. Also,
and these are some tough times.
And also, as a responsible business owner, what do you think would be good advice for someone that's trying to be a DJ and all that? This is after, let's say, this whole thing is over. Like, I'm sure a lot of people are probably going to learn a few things, right? Like you said, have a business license. What are some things you could and give advice to these people that want to become DJs?
For people that want to become DJs, if you can learn your music, learn how to DJ without all this technology. I mean, there's always going to be that war between vinyl DJs and digital DJs.
Yeah.
That's going to be a never-ending story. I'm going to say, like, in 10 years, a new software is going to come out and it's going to change the whole DJ game again.
Yeah.
So, to me, as long as you learn how to do it the right way, whether it's on vinyl or with a computer, and as long as you show respect and love to the craft, go ahead and do it. Just always know that there's we call them like hay diferentes épocas, diferentes temporadas. Vinyl had its time. We're on the digital era right now. Who knows what's going to come out next?
Yeah.
You know, there's this new, well, it's not new, but I think that after all of this, it's going to, like, especially for bars and lounges, it's going to, after they reopen everything, it's going to take them a few extra months to be able to hire a DJ. You know, they're going to be putting Pandora, they're going to be putting, you know, no, they're going to be putting Paletero mixes during, you know, in the night because it's a dope mix.
Yes, put some
Paletero. It's going to take some time for them, it's going to take some time for them to start hiring or be able to put DJs back again into the nightlife. You know, hopefully not, but I think that's the way that it's going to go.
Well, yeah, because then if now we're back in the first thing that happened, right, is that, you know, the virus is back to spreading. I mean, I'm sure they want to be smart enough to kind of keep people, you know, not too close to each other, at least for the first few opening of the country. But also,
so that would be my advice to new DJs. You like, just learn how to do it right and be able to do it, you know, without caring of what other DJs can do. Because every DJ is different. I DJ a different way than the way that you do, or the way that the other DJ at the other club is doing it.
Yeah.
And my advice for other DJs that are already DJing, use this time right now when you're not doing absolutely nothing at home and go through your crates. There's no need for you to have 100,000 songs when you only play 100 songs in one night in one set.
I know, right?
You know, kind of clean up a little bit. Yeah. I was going through my library and I think that song Paki Paki, I had over 40 remixes. I'm like, holy shit, I didn't even know I had that one.
Oh man.
You know, there's no need for that. Especially me that I video mix. Videos take a lot more space on a hard drive. So I mean, I've been taking this time to clean it out, clear it, go through my crates, reorganize my crates. Because that's going to make it a lot easier, especially when you're in the wedding business also.
Yeah.
You have to know where your first dance is going to be. You have to know, you know, cocktail hour, all of this. Because weddings, man, you have to follow a schedule and
itinerary. Yeah.
Once you have it broken down nicely, and that thing's going to fly out, man. Like, it's going to come out perfect.
Yeah, well, as far as, like you said, the prepping of the music, I think it's also important that these upcoming DJs kind of cater to a specific crowd. Like, yeah, it's fine to have a lot of music, but curate your own type of style, right? Like your own music. So if you like remixes and it's specifically like Latin remixes, maybe just focus your efforts in that if you really want to be the best at that, because then people will look for the best at do Latin remixes and they'll hire you. They'll pay your rates. They don't care how much you charge. But I mean, if you're doing weddings, obviously it's a kind of a different monster because you're dealing with people that like lots of other kind of music, maybe, or you know, you just gotta you gotta put your energy in a niche as far as like your style, your music, and all that.
Yeah, it's like right now on the. Here we go back again to the Paletero. I get about in a week. I get about 11 mixes that DJ submit. And I assure you that if they don't have the DJ job, I would not know which DJ did what, because they all sound exactly the same. And I always try to pick the one that has a little bit of a different flavor.
Yeah.
Because even though we are a land, like we cater mostly to land people, like shit, don't be scared to throw in some Bobby Brown. Don't be scared to throw in some other different kind of things, man.
Yeah.
Trust me, there's a lot of people out there that know a lot about music, and they would appreciate you dropping something different.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I was listening to my boy Audio Warren. He was on this interview with DMS on Saturday, and And they were saying like, man, right now, all these DJs that are going live, they're playing the same damn exact
Music. Yeah.
set, the same music.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, people, we're not at the club. Take the time, go through your craze, drop
Yeah.
some fun, drop
Experiment.
something different. Yeah. This
Yeah.
is the time because you don't have that audience in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is your time to go back and learn your music and learn what you have on your computer.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, it's the same thing with even if we weren't in the quarantine. I mean, wouldn't you want to do that already? Because, you know, if you're going out there, you don't want to sound like every other DJ. Therefore, you want to develop your own style, something that makes you unique to your own sound, whether it be, you know, track edits or just a selection of music. I think you need to specialize and niche down on a style that you have, you know?
Yeah, man. 'Cause, I mean, everything's sounding the same, and it's gotta. Maybe this is the this is the sign to also for club owners and promoters and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Let us play what we want to play, man, because we know we can take you through a journey. If you untie our hair, man, I assure you that we can take you through a different journey than what you're used to seeing every single day, every single weekend.
Yeah, because in your experience, what do you get from promoters? What do they want you to play all the time when you deal with the promoter?
I don't really deal along with promoters. I deal along with owners.
Yeah.
And it's always stick to the top 40. And I'm like, I had this. I think one was second to my last gig before all of this went down.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say I got into an argument, but I think I checked the owner out because that owner was, hey, can you play some top 40s? Mm-hmm. I'm like, have you seen the top 40 list? You want me to play the top 40s?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah. Because at that venue, they don't really allow me to play a lot of live music.
Mm-hmm.
It's, so I told him, I think I was playing some Bad Bunny, some new Bad Bunny that had just come out, and I was playing it, and I saw the look on her face, and she came up, and I'm like, oh shit, I want to go now.
Yeah. She
goes, hey man, I just want to let you know, man, like you're doing a great job as you always do. But can we stick more to the top 40 side, please? I'm like, oh, you really want me to play top 40? And she was like, yeah, just take the top 40. We're a top 40 club. I'm like, all right, well, I'll get on it.
Mm-hmm.
What's on top 40 right now? You have Bad Bunny, you have J Balvin, you have all of the Latin music. It's pretty much top 40 right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, well, she told me to say it. She told me to play it on it. All right.
Yeah.
I started playing all the top 40 stuff, all the Billboard top 40. She came back like, hey man, I'm not trying to nag, but I'm like, wait, hold on. Before you say anything else, you told me to play top 40. And I pulled out my phone. I'm like, here's the Billboard top 40. Nothing but live music. One or two other, Jonas Brothers and stuff like that was on the list at that time.
Yeah.
And she was like, after that, she didn't say anything. Like, this is the kind of things that you have to deal with owners or promoters. You have to keep in mind, when you say top 40, don't say top 40. Say, just keep it open format or place. Because when you say top 40, hey, man, country is going to be on top 40. You want me to play country at where I'm at right now?
Yeah.
Because they think that when they say top 40s, they're thinking of something different. Like, no, man, top 40s it's the hot top 40s in the country.
Yeah.
It's gonna have a mix of everything. It's not all gonna be pop. It's not all gonna be hip hop.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a mix of everything. So check your top 40 list before you come telling me to play top 40.
Well, I think it's also important for these owners to consult with the DJ first, and not just say, I want to hear this. Like, I feel like the owner should be able to talk to the DJ and find out what they think, depending on the crowd that they have and statistics, right? Maybe from the owner that says, hey, we have a lot of Latinos that come here, they do like a lot of Latin music, but we see more of a
Yeah.
different crowd. I think it would be good for owners to
And
consult.
this person that was telling me this, she wasn't even the owner. It was just a bartender
Mm,
that came up to me, and I reached out to the owner. I sent him an email, and the owner was like, "No, man, like we hire you and the other DJs that we bring because we know like you guys can get it done."
yeah.
And the owner was like, "You know what? Just don't pay attention to it.
Mm,
When you go, we trust you 100% to do your job. So that's why we don't question your job. Do your job, and everything's gonna be fine."
yeah.
I'm like, all right, because the job of a DJ is to always keep looking at how the room is moving. If you play a song and it's not really working out, then you know not to keep looking into that genre.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
And also,
that's what a DJ is there for.
that is the
If
DJ.
you're telling me what to play, and you know me, I will close my damn laptop and I will walk away.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've seen you do that.
I, I do that. Like my job, they're paying me here to do my job. They're paying you to do your thing. I don't go behind your bar and tell you how to mix a margarita. You
yeah.
already know how to do your margaritas. Let me do my job.
Yeah, you know what's funny that I don't I never see that as far as like a DJ telling a bartender how to bartend. It's usually always telling us how to play music, which is a
Yeah,
funny thing, right? Even like all
yeah,
the people that go to bars or whatnot, when they're always like, "Hey man, why are you playing this? Why are you playing that? Like change it, put this." It's like
yeah,
why are people telling us what to do? Like we're there for a reason, we're so you don't have to worry about it. We
yeah,
know how to read the crowd. It's pretty
yeah.
funny.
Like we're there for a reason because
Hmm.
we know what we're doing. You
Yeah.
know,
Also,
not. I mean, again, not all DJs know what they're doing, and they're there because they're a lower paycheck than the DJ that actually knows what he's doing. But
yeah,
that's a whole different topic.
yeah, definitely another topic, but also,
That's another full podcast on that.
yeah, I know. So we do wanna keep these to about an hour. So there's one other thing I wanted to see if you could
Uh,
share with us is that as a DJ we go through a lot of interesting moments and wanted to know if you have any memorable stories that you want to tell us, anything funny or I don't know, anything that you could think of that stands out. I know we have a bunch. I know we see everything,
a
right?
lot.
We see
Yeah.
everything. There's got to be something in there.
Oh man,
What do you got for us, Speedy?
that's that's gonna be a whole another hour of podcast with all the things I've been seeing
Uh,
in this line of work, man.
uh,
But I think I'm gonna share one that I actually happened when I was with you.
okay.
We walked in into and then going back to the I'll walk away if I feel that I'm not
Oh,
being
yep.
allowed to do my job. You know,
Yep. Uh-huh.
that's something that and I'm gonna tell this to all the DJs that are listening. Like, don't be scared to do it.
Yeah,
I didn't
exactly.
get fired.
Stand up. Stand up
If
for
you
yourself.
feel, yeah, if you feel that they're not letting you perform the way that you should be,
Mm-hmm.
you know what? Close your laptop, unplug it, and walk out.
Yeah. It's
And that's what happened that one time. That, me and you, I think we did I wanted to help you out and do a photo shoot.
uh-huh.
We had a couple shots, and then I told you, hey, after the DJ, just head out over there. And we got there, and it was a pretty slow night, and I think I was just barely warming up.
Yeah.
And um, we had a couple of drinks at the bar too, and then I think the bartender was like, "Oh no, I'm gonna cut him out because I think he's already too drunk or
Mm-hmm.
something happened."
Yeah.
And I was just, or it had to be something with the music that I was playing. It was still early in the night. There was a lot of people, and I was just doing my thing. And I just felt that I was being disrespected, and I felt that I was not being allowed to do my job.
Yeah.
And I just closed the laptop and I walked out, and I just saw the look on your face, like, wait, are you really doing it? Like, are
Yeah.
you really just walk out?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, we're just walking out. You know, if they're not allowing me to do my job, then
Yeah.
find somebody else.
Yeah. I
I'm
mean,
not a jukebox. I think another girl that was there with the bartender kept coming and requesting songs, right?
yeah.
I go, play this, play that, and do this. I don't want to mention names, but
Yeah.
I think she kept coming. I go, no, the bartender said play this, play that, and I'm like, no,
Mhm.
I'm not going to do that. If
Exactly.
you want to do that, pull up your phone, hook it up to the in-house system, and say you're play this. But
Yep.
I'm not going to do that. I'm here
Yeah.
to do my job.
I definitely remember that.
Yeah,
It's actually a memorable
there's other
story
things
for me.
involved during that day, but we're going to keep it PG.
But you bring up a good point though, as far as standing up for yourself. I mean, if we all
Yeah,
if we all learn to do something like that, we could definitely teach the owners on how to treat the DJ the right way. You can't just
yeah,
expect them to be an iPod and play whatever the hell you want. You
yeah,
definitely need to treat the DJ with respect because in a way we're kind of the life of the party. I mean, no music,
yeah,
nobody's vibing then. So yeah, it's
yeah.
a good point. So yeah,
Yeah, because I mean, you can have the best cocktails in the whole city, but if it's a Friday night and people go there to have good cocktails and good music, and they walk in and there's no good music, they're gonna go to another spot that has okay cocktails with good music.
yeah. I mean, would you
You know,
say
Like,
would you say that people would rather choose good music over good drinks? What would you think the outcome would be?
I would say that it depends on what the patron is looking for the night, but I would say that 100%. I mean, not 100%. I would say that like 89, 90% of the time,
Mm-hmm.
people go out there to dance, and
Yeah.
alcohol is just it's like whatever.
Yeah.
I just want to get faded.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, and then most
a
of the
lot of
times,
you go to the bars and people are drinking AM $10 AMS,
yeah,
Corona, $6
exactly.
beers.
Mm-hmm.
If you
Yeah.
want to have a good specialty cocktail, you go out to a steakhouse and you order whatever something fancy, a martini or stuff like
Yeah.
that. You're not going to go to a nightclub to go drink a martini because you're not
Yep.
going to make it 2 steps away from the bar because somebody's already going to bump into you,
Yeah, that's
and
true.
that's just going to be right on the floor.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So
That I mean, people that go to bars or little lounges, they're not looking to spend $1,000 at the bar. Really, they're trying to just have
yeah,
a few drinks and, of course, get a good buzz and feel
yeah,
good. Maybe bottle service is probably the most expensive, but yeah, I mean,
yeah,
all in all, it's the atmosphere, right? Of what the DJ
yeah,
brings is that type of
yeah,
vibe and style or whatever music. It's what does it make that person do, right? Does it make them dance? Does it make them sit down and chill? Like it's gonna be
yeah,
that, right? That gets people going. So yeah,
yeah.
that's a big point.
Because I've been called to DJ when even though they already have it's a private event. Well, there's this place that I work for that you can book the whole club for your own party or your own event.
Mm-hmm.
So they had this party going on, this 50th 50th birthday party that was going on. They brought their own DJ, and like at like around 11, I got a call from the owner and be like, "Hey, the people at the party they're really unhappy with the DJ they brought. They brought the DJ.
That
They're
they brought.
unhappy with him because." Yeah, because they want 90s R&B, they want 90s hip hop. I mean, she's turning 50, like she's more into the old school things, and the guys playing nothing but like electro and dance and EDM and stuff like that. Like they're not into that.
Damn.
He goes, "Can you make it? Can you make it within 10 minutes?" I'm like, "I can't be there in 10 minutes, but I'll be there in like 6 minutes."
Yeah.
He goes, "All right, just get your ass over here." I got there, I showed up, and guess what? I say what they wanted to hear, so I changed the atmosphere, and then it did a completely 360, and everybody was happy. Everybody had a great night. And
Damn. You
it
said
wasn't because of the drinks; it was because of the DJ that was he knew exactly what to play.
it was 1-800 save a party, and then you came through.
Yeah, yeah,
No, that's dope,
And
man.
the funny thing is that the other DJ just kept looking at me, and he kept spamming songs. I'm like, and then I told him at the end of the night, I'm like, I don't mind sharing my things. I told him, hey, you know what? Give me your email and I'll send you the whole everything that I played. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
Like I'm not the type of guy that likes to like quarter people. Like, no, that's mine. No. Because if I have a remix and if you want it, if you really want it, you're gonna find it.
Yeah.
It's gonna take you a little bit of time to find it, but you'll find it.
Yeah.
That edit is not specifically for me. It's, editors put those out there for everybody to find them.
Yeah.
You'll find them one way or another. So I'm like, I'm not grading them. Give me your email and the whole playlist that I have here. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
And the guys was happy. They're like, oh man, would you do that? I'm like, yeah. Like, I don't mind.
I think that goes back to finding your style, right? I mean, yeah, you could have all the music from another DJ, but how's that going to make you sound? It's going to make you sound just like him. So it's about finding your
this
sound.
Other DJ that said, I follow this other DJ, and pretty famous guy, and he has a podcast also, which I'm not going to name because I don't want to give him, free promo. But he said the same thing. He said, you know what? I can give you my hard drive. You can copy it. Do whatever you want with it. But at the end of the day, I'm going to feel confident because you're not going to be able to DJ the same way that I do.
Yeah.
You can have everything, all the songs in the world, and you're not even going to know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Because that library is catered to me. It's built by me because I know what I have and I know what to play with what.
Yeah.
If you copying my hard drive, you're just going to be like, what? Where can I find this?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's definitely crucial for any starting DJs to just find your own way into getting that music, right? Pay for it if you need to. I mean, it would be better if you paid for it, but I know there's other ways to get it now, and whatever ways you got to do it for now.
Why I say right now, take the time right now to go back and go through your crates and find out what you have, what you need and what you don't need.
Yeah. No, that's dope. Good stuff. So, yeah, I think we covered a lot of good stuff on this podcast. We definitely have another, for sure, a few more hours that we could talk about on a next podcast. But which we will definitely do for another time. But I do want to thank you for being part of this Teal Grid podcast. I don't know if you want to plug it with anything you want to say, any shout outs or anything you want to plug.
Yeah, man, just a shout out to you, man, for having me here. And shout out to all the DJs that I know, Offie, Choco, everybody that helped me out with the Paletero. A big shout out to you because all the graphics on the Paletero made, all the graphics that I probably have on my social media are thanks to you. So big shout out to you, man. I really appreciate you, and you know that.
You're welcome.
Anytime that you need me, I'm here, man.
Hey, that's how we work, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. Man. Make sure to follow DJ Speedy. What's your IG handle again?
IG, Facebook, Twitter, DJ Speedy 408. And if you want to hear some dope music, so follow us at the Paletero Mix on Facebook, Instagram, Mixcloud, Apple Podcasts.
And also
not
Ritmo
on
Nido,
Spotify.
right?
We got shut down. Yeah, we got shut down from Spotify, so you won't find it there anymore. Again, Ritmo Nido. Again, all the social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Ritmo Nido.
Yeah. And follow me.
Make sure to follow us there because we have some big content coming out.
Yeah, for sure. Check them out, and also follow the YouTube, which is DJ Live 408, where I'll have all these podcasts. And that's it, I think. Yeah. So thank you again, man, for being part of this, and I hope you have a good day. And para la próxima.
Simón, aquí estamos, mijo.
Epa, vamos.